12 minutes before 8 o'clock. Thank you for tuning in. One of the things I wanted to do, I guess I'll put this aside till later on, but, we talk a lot about the people who want to become the next president of the United States. The closest election we have right now is for mayor and for city council in Ocala. I think those are the only two elections this year, correct?
I think so.
I believe so.
Yeah, I believe
and so I do have some information from the Supervisor of Elections office here in Marion County regarding that, and I'll set that aside for later on. I'll squeeze in a place later on.
Okay.
But I think it's interesting because right now we're going to look at Donald Trump a little bit. We're going to look at Bernie Sanders a little bit, and we've looked at Ben Carson a little bit. We've looked at a few of them a little bit, and they're all running or want to run. We've looked at Hillary, of course, a lot for president of the United States. We have a vested interest in our own community with our own legislators right here in town. I believe Kent Gwynn is running for his own office again.
I think so.
So I'm behind him. I like the guy. He's made some really good decisions. I know some people wanted him to do things that, like, when they wanted the sister city over in
Ireland.
No, not the one in Ireland.
Okay, because there's one there.
I know, but they wanted a sister city in like in Palestine, right?
Yeah,
that area. I can't remember which one it was.
Can't recall.
And I think it was a smart decision not to do that. No offense to anybody, but look, it's kind of a funny thing to ask for.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though we love the lady who wanted it, so
that's right.
it's kind of a weird thing.
Still war over there.
But anyway, so all right, so let's talk about. And we'll talk about My Fair Lady also later on. I know we kind of
later on
piled it on ourselves a little bit too much today. All right, so Donald Trump, the one thing about Donald Trump is when we get close to another presidential election, he always surfaces as the guy who's seriously wanting to run, and then he doesn't. Mm-hmm. This is the one problem I have with him. If you're serious, then go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, all the others who are serious, whether it's Mike Huckabee or any of the other ones who just announced this morning, I can't remember, but they're all they all go in for it. They jump in with both feet. They get involved with the debates. Well, Trump, you got to do the same thing.
Sure,
you got to do the same thing. You can't just like pretend, play. It's like a game.
Yeah,
because it's like the kid who cried wolf.
Yeah,
you got
to jump in. You can't be scared.
Yeah,
have to do it.
So anyway, he said that as a presidential candidate, he has a foolproof plan, that's his word, to defeat the Islamic State, known as ISIS, but won't share it unless he is elected. Mm-hmm. Won't share it unless he is elected.
I know. That is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Now think about this for a second. If you have a foolproof plan that is going to benefit not only this country, but this world, in this case, and you say, I'm not going to share it unless I'm elected, then what kind of an American are you?
Exactly.
What kind of a human being are you? Now, you might want to say, I won't share it until somebody is elected, and then if it's not me, then I'll share it.
Yes.
Because we can wait, I guess, until November of 2016 before we finally get rid of something that's like a horrible menace to this world.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, you could argue that, but you think about this. It's the same thing. It's the same thing when a president doesn't take the ideas. When Bill Clinton was elected, and he did not tap into the ideas of Ross Perot.
Yes.
It was a foolish mistake.
Very.
It would have been very smart to say, this guy was onto something. He didn't win, but let's ask him to come let's let his ideas make America better.
Yeah.
And then we can use his ideas. That's the one thing. If Trump has some ideas, now he's like a publicity genius or something.
Yes.
He says, I do know what to do, and I would know how to bring ISIS to the table or beyond that, defeat ISIS very quickly. He said that on the show called On the Record with Greta Van Susteren. Greta Van Susteren then asked, "Why won't you tell? We need all the help we can get." He said, "I don't want the enemy to know what I'm doing."
He makes it.
He doesn't. He doesn't have to tell the enemy.
Yeah.
All he has to do is tell the president.
Right.
Hey, Mr. President, I have an idea. If I had an idea right now of how to make the world better,
Yeah.
I have I have a tiny little platform, I guess, with this radio show. But I mean, wouldn't it make sense? And of course, there would probably be nobody paying attention to me. But there have been stories of people who have had these wonderful ideas, who were basically little nobodies,
Yep.
who really scratched and clawed and kept begging, "Come on, I got a great idea. I got a great idea." And finally somebody listened to him, and it made the world a better place, whether it was an invention or a new way of doing something.
Right. Exactly.
Trump criticized Obama for going on television to explain exactly when we're going to attack a certain city, what we're going to do, what hour we're going to be using the attack, how many are going, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Point of all of the American
He said
people
Generals
have about
Douglas
that.
MacArthur and George Patton are spinning in their graves over how the United States gives all the details of its military operations up front.
Yeah.
I question that, actually. When we do that, I often think, that's not what we're really doing, but I don't really know. But if we are, then he's right. It's a stupid thing to do. But it's also a stupid thing to say you have a foolproof plan, but you're not going to share it with anybody
Yeah.
unless you're elected. Maybe you should say until somebody's elected.
Yeah.
So you let the world hang in grief another year and a half or so.
Yeah. Right.
Good morning. You're on the air. Are you
In the
there?
interest of I'm here. In the interest of full disclosure, I need to say I'm not a big fan of Donald Trump.
Okay. Okay.
But Nixon said he had a plan that was going to end the Vietnam War when he was running for election, and Kerry said he had a plan for Iraq when he was running for president. But if Donald Trump is a patriot and he really does think that he has a plan that's going to defeat ISIS, then the least he should do is ask President Obama for a meeting at the White House where he can sit down and discuss it with him, if he's a patriot. And I just want to close with a comment that was made by President Reagan, who I think is one of the greatest presidents we ever had. And he said, there's no limit to what you can accomplish if you don't care who gets the credit.
There you go.
Donald Trump should remember that.
Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right. I guess he hung up. That's really true.
That's the trouble with the elected officials from the president on down. They all want to say, I did this.
Oh, we were just talking small business with the guy from the bank, right?
Yes.
And you want to know what ruins most small businesses is ego.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? And I'm not a small business expert, but I've watched a lot of bands. Okay, so that'll be my area of expertise to tap into. I've seen a lot of bands that were pretty good that were ruined because of egos.
Yeah.
Good morning. You're on the air.
Good morning. Well, I think Donald Trump is kind of stupid for even saying that, because he's putting himself out there as a target. He's putting his life at risk just by saying that. I mean, they're killing people just for cartoons of Allah, and now he's saying he has a plan to get rid of them. That's like back in the mafia's heyday, saying, "Oh, I know how to get rid of the mafia," and saying that out publicly. You might not live that long.
Good point.
Good point.
Good point.
You know what I've said about?
Good day.
Thank you. About ISIS and the mafia. All it has to. The best way to get rid of ISIS, if ISIS threatens the mafia, that'll be the end of ISIS.
Exactly. Exactly. There will be no questions.
That's what I thought.
Nothing. They'll be done.
All right, so I promised I would mention the Bernie Sanders story too. Bernie Sanders is in the news, a Democratic candidate for president. He says, listen to this, a 90% tax rate on the wealthiest Americans would not be too high.
Wow.
A 90% tax rate would not be too high.
That's
What is the
wow.
incentive of growing a business if you're going to take away 90%
Yeah.
of what a person earns?
Exactly.
When talking about President Dwight Eisenhower's administration, Sanders said, I think the highest marginal tax rate was something like 90%.
Oh, come on.
CNBC, I think he's right, actually. CNBC's John Harwood then said it was 90. When you think about 90%, you don't think it's obviously too high.
Wow.
Sanders replied, "No, what I think we've seen and what frightens me again, when you have the top 0.1% owning almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%, does anybody think that is the kind of economy this country should have? Do we think it's moral?" What I always wonder when people start saying these things is, what do you think the top should be then?
Yeah.
I mean, what is the number? What is the president said there is a certain amount where you've had enough. Well, what is that number?
Right.
What is
Exactly.
that number? Who decides what that number is?
Yeah, exactly. That's the most ridiculous thing. You build up a business on your own. You work hard. You have people that love you and your business. They work hard, and then all of a sudden they're put a cap on whatever it is by the government.
Senator Bernie Sanders is a Democratic candidate, but he's truthfully a socialist. Not my words, his words. Mm-hmm. He says he's a socialist. He served in the House from 1991 to 2007 before becoming a senator. He is registered. He is a registered independent, but is running for president as a Democrat. During an interview with ABC earlier this month, he said, "At a time when 99% of all new income is going to the top 1%, and when the top 0.1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%, maybe it's time for a political shakeup." He also said we've got too many brands of deodorant, too many.
Oh.
And I thought about that too. I thought, well, we've got hungry children and we've got more deodorant than we need. That was his statement. I thought, well, so what? How does that fix anything?
Exactly.
So people shouldn't be in business to compete with other people in the same business?
No, he's a socialist.
All right, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Lillian Wu. The thunderstorms have tapered off for Texas, but now it's swollen rivers causing worries.
It's even hard to sleep at night, just thinking about what's next.
Many Texans can expect more sleepless nights. Authorities ordering new evacuations as rivers continue to rise. The body count in the Lone Star State also rising to at least 17. 11 people remain missing.
Fox Radio, Steve Rappaport. The Golden State Warriors, in their first NBA Finals in 40 years, will be facing the Cleveland Cavaliers. Stephen Curry scoring 26 points as the California team defeated the Houston Rockets 104-9.
Curry gets inside, lost it momentarily, flips it up and in.
That on ESPN. Game 1 next Thursday in Oakland, and Ford says it'll allow other automakers access to its electrified vehicles technologies. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Fox News Early Prime, breaking down business news and its impact on your bottom line. Your World with Neil Cavuto.
That's how I do business. That's why I am business.
Bold positions and brash opinions on the topics America is buzzing about. The Five.
How do you think this will set in with the American people?
This will be the pulse of the nation.
Washington insight and political know-how from the best in the Beltway. Special report with Brett Baer.
The epicenter of the political world is here.
The #1 place for fair and balanced coverage. Fox News Channel.
What's wrong with working hard to make our lives and our kids' lives better? Nothing. At Fox Business, we don't have a problem with success. We have a very big problem with those who get in the way of it. We don't come out of the box bashing those who make money, just the politicians stealing it and the bureaucracies wasting it. We're not just sitting behind a desk. We're out in the field, on the floor, with the folks. Because when a story moves forward, so do we.
Fox Business, the power to prosper. Check your local listings.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
Career Source, Citrus, Levy, Merriam brings together business and community partners, economic development leaders, and educational providers to connect employers with qualified, skilled talent and job seekers with employment and career development opportunities. Tune in the first and third Wednesday of each month at 9:30 a.m. to Career Source Citrus Levy Marion and learn how they can help you.
Ooh, ouch. Does pain have you glued to the couch? Yes, unfortunately it's true that every year we must get older, but that doesn't mean we have to deal with pain in our back, knees, or shoulder. If your muscles and joints are sore, don't worry anymore. Come get acupuncture from me and you'll be pain-free. Acupuncture starts as low as $35.